Yasmin just ended with a theme that's kind of, it's okay to be who you are and kind of find your way into this world, and my story is basically about that. So I grew up, this story starts in Kansas. I grew up in the suburbs outside of Kansas City, and we're here talking about social sector work and social impact work, and that is not necessarily what is put in front of you as a child growing up in Kansas. This is a place where really the highest ideals are to carve out your little slice of America and protect it and build it and just be comfortable in it. And that's, part of my life was about that. I grew up incredibly privileged in that sense. I can look back now and also say that I was incredibly privileged to have a mother who was a social worker who spent her entire career working with adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse, which is, I think about what she did and how she applied herself and never made much money at all, and it just has driven me. And I can look at it now and say, that is me, that's who I am standing in front of you on this stage. But as a kid, I just didn't have really any interest. I wanted to play football and party in high school and do those types of things. So I was able to get into a good school, and I went away to school still without really a clue of what my life was going to be, but I had in mind, it's a little bit similar to Yasmin, I had in mind that I went to Wesleyan University in Connecticut. I was going to go there, I was going to get an economics degree, and I was going to become a millionaire on Wall Street. Literally, that was the linear story in my mind. And then I took 3 economics courses, and I realized that is not where I was going to go. So I changed to history. I had a great experience there. And then, just to tell one quick story, I actually interviewed on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange when I was a senior, and I went out there and they gave me this great, they put me up in a nice hotel, they made me feel like I was kind of a king.
Same.
Yeah, but they then came to campus and interviewed me, and they gave me like 6 chance riddles to do in a room, and like drools coming out of my mouth, and that was the point at which I decided I was going to be more on the verbal side of my career. So I graduated from college, and again, as my wife would laugh, when I had to be dragged along to just do anything, and we're about 2 months away from graduating, and I hadn't applied for anything. So I started applying for jobs. I'd spent a summer in DC, I liked it, and the one job that came through out of 40 applications, because I was a mediocre student, was an internship at a PR firm. I had no idea what a PR firm even did. I never even thought about it. But I got an internship at a big global PR firm. I moved my life to DC, started working there. It was the most mind-numbing work I'd ever done in my life. I was moving boxes, I was delivering proposals, I was making phone calls to media about things that nobody cared about. And then in the process of doing that, I found somebody internally who I was inspired by, who was working in the early days of corporate social responsibilities. That was starting to become a term that people cared about. And his name was Bennett Freeman. He had an amazing career, worked on human rights and lots of other things. So I harassed him. I showed up in his doorway every day and said, I want to work for you. Please bring me on, because I can't make calls about Bureau of Engraving and Printing anymore.